Hello and welcome to the show. Well, as we enter the 10th round of National League Rugby this season, the cold is starting to bite in the 3rd and 4th tiers, but fear not, as we've got two sides for you with some red hot form in National 2 East. Henley Hawks are once again competing in the top 5, but their home form is worrying with 3 home losses from 6. It's a weakness Dorking will be looking to capitalise on, surging back into the 4th tier. They've only lost 1 in 8 and they're unbeaten in 4 away games. And on this Remembrance weekend, a minute's silence was held before every National League Rugby game to remember those who have given their lives for their country in war. Last time Dorking were here 7.5 years ago, they won a thriller 41-34. That's great follow-up work by Henley to win the ball back. Lunnon into Voot, quick hands. Here's Flynn. He's found a gap and he will find the try line. Dorking won't catch him. First blood to Henley Hawks. Fantastic from Flynn. His first try of the season. Henley Hawks picking up where they left off against Worthing with a very fast start. Dalton slips past Manning, head first into the yellow wall of defence. Jackson wasting no time, the space on the left, Ramsden knows it too. Austin Eamons, elusive from the winger, and he's found McRae, and a juggle and a stumble and a tumble send him bundling over the try line. 2 and 2 for the winger, and fast hands, if a little unsteady, get Dorking back into it. Henley Hawks dominating the set pieces at Dry Leas. Elaboudi and Lunnon holding Dorking back. Now there's a splinter. Oh, earlier half moon out. Emery keeps going. The ball spills. Will Crowe pounces and he drives and he scores. Hawks have been best in possession here, and that sometimes gives you the bounce of the ball. Crowe with no mistake when the opportunity knocked, and it restores a hefty lead over Dorking. Strong start to the second half by Dorking. Of their 9 games so far, they've been behind 5 times at the break, won 2 of them. Moseley taking some heavy contacts. Again, Jackson looks for the whip. Ramsden, Cal, 1 on his outside in Eamons. Crawley won't catch him. Dorking over for the second. 3 is the magic number. Eamons with his 3rd try in 3 games to be just 3 points behind. And once again, Armand Roux's side flipped the game on its head. Some volleyball from the pack. No danger for McDonald. He's gone for the lengthy route. Away from Anscombe. That's dangerous. And David's onto it. And the try line is at his mercy. James David gobbles that gift up. Hawks stretch ahead again. And look what it means to them. Anscombe didn't look behind, see where his teammate was. And a heavy price paid. 24-14 down. And it's a big mountain for Dorking to climb now. Cal with time to weigh up his options. He's found a gap through Norval and Corley to Anscombe. He slips past. Lovely work. Moseley, unstoppable from Dorking. That's 1 back, and we're back to a 3-point game. Well, it was superb from Cal with the aggressive drive forward, composed from Anscombe, and a massive moment from Moseley. 14 minutes to go, time to get on the edge of your seats. Dalton driving again. The scent of a 4th try in Dorking's nostrils. McDonald goes on another run. Henley have switched off looking for the offside. Here's Eamons. He's sold a dummy and the winger will get his 2nd try. And how crucial could this be? 8 minutes from time and Dorking lead for the first time today. They have just got better and better in this second half. Well, another late opportunity comes knocking for Dorking, and this has been timed to perfection. Delight for Dorking, Henley Hawks humbled, another comeback win for the Surrey side storming Nat 2 East. 24-28, Dorking just can't stop winning at the moment.
Yeah, it was a good game of rugby today. I thought we were out of it for a while. I was quite pleased we got back into it. This team at the moment has got a never say die attitude, which is really good, and I'm really pleased that we managed to get over the line again. I think in the middle part of the game, Henley was really into it. I thought they were going to score at the end there, but some good resilience showed by the boys there, and yeah, I'm pleased for them. We've worked really hard over the last 5 weeks, and yeah, long may that hard work continue, and hopefully the results can come. So yeah, really pleased overall with what we've achieved.
Let's head up into National 1 now, and we start with a battle at the bottom of the table at Kingsley Road.
Chinner and Esher started their hunt for a crucial win with 5 tries in the first 40, 3 of them for the visitors as Jack Walsh put them ahead. Rich Thorpe's side were looking to reverse 2 home losses, and Will Feeney on his first appearance for Chinner reduced the gap to 5 points. But Esher always kept them at arm's length, Miles Rawston Rudd ensuring a first win of the season and a first win in National 1 since April 2019. 30 miles south, Plymouth Albion looked for a major upset, leading at Rams through Jack Alton with just under 30 minutes left. But the Berkshire side are dominant in set pieces this season and turned to their heavies as Ollie Moffat gave them back the lead. Fans were still on the edge of their seat as they wanted 10 bonus point wins from 10. Hugh Ellis-Jones in the 80th minute with a brilliant 4th try. It's been a tough run for Rosslyn Park, including back-to-back losses, and Leeds Tykes hope to capitalise through Will Dennis' drive to the line. But the boys in red and white were back to their best soon after, Will Glover kick-starting 4 first-half scores in a dominant display. Charlie Walker didn't miss out on the scoring action, taking Park's 6th of the day to go joint top of the National 1 try-scoring charts with 13 this season. There will have been eyes on the Rock in Hertfordshire, where Sale FC put on a running rugby display. Connor Wilkinson with the best of them. Bishop Stortford rallied in the second half to draw level on the hour, but the visitors relied on substitute Ollie Longmore to take 5 points back to Manchester. Fans at the Darlington Arena were treated to 8 tries, started in thrilling style by Moden Park's Morgan Passman for his 13th of the season, joint top in Nat 1. Charlie Wright is one of the few shining stars in a struggling Taunton Titans side with just 1 win in 4 games. While they got on the board, they never competed. Darlington Moden Park's backs put in a brilliant display to run rings around the visitors, Liam Checksfield taking 2 for back-to-back home wins. A fantastic game at the Ferrens ground saw Hull lead at half-time. Dan Evans with the best as they looked on for a first win of the season. It would be a major shock against Cinderford, and a stern half-time talk woke them up, but a brilliant move from the hosts swung the lead back. Rhys Dean's boot appeared to have that first win with 2 late penalties, but the inevitability of the Gloucestershire side's pack struck for another sharing of points. But the game of the day was in Birmingham. Cambridge set their sights on a 4th consecutive win when Kwaku Aziedu put them 12 points clear. Birmingham Moseley found a second wind in front of their own fans, Jacques Leroux finishing a sweeping move as the conversion pulled them level. Seb Brownhill thought he'd won it for Cambridge in the 79th minute, but a penalty try at the other end gave it to Moseley for wild celebrations. An exhilarating day in National 1 across all 80 minutes. 13 of the 57 tries came in the final quarter. Find out more about our partners VO at ncarugby.com. Rams reach half-century in 10 games, the first team to do so since the invincible Hartpury College in the 2016-17 season. Birmingham Moseley overtake Taunton Titans. Esher's win put them 4 points off Chinner in a tight squeeze. Hull take their first points for 2 weeks.
Back in National 2 East, last season's 2 relegated sides from the 3rd tier met in Kent.
And this clash certainly delivered. Tonbridge Juddians had the better of Blackheath's discipline in the first half. Tom White kicking 3 penalties. But James Shanahan's side had a tactic of hitting the line hard and pushing out wide, which worked for the lead on 50 minutes. Jake Hennessy scoring here. It would be 2 wins against the Londoners in a year for TJs though, as Brian Hotston scored before seeing off a late Blackheath surge for victory. This saw Barnes capitalise on the league leaders' slip-up at the Gables, taking just 6 minutes to get their scoring started through Cam Roberts. Westcliff were hoping to buck their losing trend, but Barnes would take home 5 points with a 9-try haul as the visitors took back-to-back wins. A tense second half unfolded in Guernsey. Down 7 points at the break, they had the better of the third quarter as Anthony Armstrong appeared to complete the turnaround. But a disastrous error allowed Johnny Short to run clean through, but a missed conversion meant a sharing of the points at Foots Lane.
I think probably 28-all is probably a fair reflection on the game. With Guernsey scoring 5 tries to SEVENOAKS' 3, it's obviously disappointing for us. It's a tough league that we play in at the moment, and if you're not on for 80 minutes, like we've been shown a fair few times this season, you're not gonna get the goods.
In Hertfordshire, Old Albanian are finding their feet again. They were on the scoreboard after 8 minutes with Sem Mummery's drive. Rochford 100 have given teams some strong competition, but the second half was dominated by OA's Elliot McFun on form again. Worthing have won just 2 of their 5 away games before the trip to East Anglia. Zach Carr's try after just 11 minutes suggesting this would be different. North Walsham were clearly aware of this though, as Tom Knight closed the gap to just 4 points at half-time through some set-piece power. But once again, the second 40 would belong to the top half side. Jackson Clark ensuring 5 points would be taken back to the south coast this time. And an intriguing affair at Haberden. Bury St Edmunds wasted no time getting on the scoreboard. Mike Stanway picking his way through Canterbury just 60 seconds in. The hosts, aiming for 4 wins in a row, were like a machine for 70 minutes of the game, putting 5 past the Kent side, including Matt Bursary's counter. Canterbury gave the hosts a late scare, with Guy Hilton starting a run of 12 points in the last 10 minutes, but it was not enough to bring a comeback. Endurance was the name of the game in National 2 East. 28 of the 54 tries were scored in the second half of the 7 games. Dorking's heroics and Barnes' rout put them top, but Blackheath can return with a win over SEVENOAKS in the rest week. The top 7 are separated by just 4 points. Henley Hawks have slipped into the bottom half. Amid the musical chairs above, the bottom 6 is the same. SEVENOAKS draw sees them pull away from the bottom 2.
Here's the action from National 2 North as 2 Yorkshire sides aim for a return to winning ways at the Avenue.
Wharfdale were 2 points behind Sheffield going into this clash, and the hosts went about securing an overtake quickly. Harry Buller finishing a scything move. But the side from the Steel City came back into the contest ferociously with 3 second-half tries. Will Smith bagging the lead with 7 minutes to go. It would be physicality that would win the day. Wharfdale's pack pushing Matt Spears over in the dying moments for a first win in 6 games. It was a special day at Sedgley Park to celebrate captain Matt Riley's 400th appearance, and the centre scored their 4th first-half try. With Corbin Thunder powering his way over the line, Tyndale was set to be the 10th team to suffer defeat against the unbeaten side from Greater Manchester. It was a much easier day in Lancashire for Fylde, taking a 9th bonus point win of the season. Adam Lanigan starting and finishing a super move. Huddersfield's hopes of first back-to-back wins in National 2 North since April was slim. Tom Carlton's hat-trick, delicious cherry on top of their day. Over on Humberside, Chester were 2 points behind at half-time when a quick restart caught Hull Ionians napping and Gethin Long ran in. That was the last score they would get as Graham Stedman's side used their maul to maximum efficiency. Ben Stevenson's pair of tries seeing them return to action with 5 points.
For us, it's disappointing because of how well we've gone so far this season. We've gone real well in the first 9 games. It was unfortunate against the first 2 starts, which is now the 2 top flyers. We're looking to improve week in, week out, and we'll make sure we'll get something out of the next week or 2 ones after the break next week.
Otley had also enjoyed the previous weekend off, but had had a rough start at Blaydon as the Newcastle side went ahead with Alex Charlton's score. But the response came 12 minutes later from the visitors, Samuel Hodge finding the try line to regain the lead for the promoted side. It was another day where fullback Callum Irvin impressed for Otley with kicking, but substitute Gavin Stead stamped his authority for 4 games unbeaten. Back in Yorkshire, the battle at the bottom started off in style as Harrogate's Will Yates ran from his own 22 all the way to the try line for a stunning score. Having conceded another, Preston Grasshoppers woke up and had the lead, Will Hunt putting on a show of his own before feeding Jacob Brown. But the day would belong to Harrogate, drawing level at half-time before Jacob Steen's 2 penalties were the only 2 scores in the second 40. And a shock in the South Yorkshire derby. Rotherham Titans were nonplussed by former player Jamie Broadley as he helped Sheffield Tigers to a 13-0 lead at the break. Coming out on the pitch at Clifton Lane early for the restart, they really knocked on the door and were within 2 points when Theo Nwosu Hope powered over. But Tigers star kicker Mark Ireland made no mistake with 2 late penalties for first consecutive wins in almost a year, as it's 3 losses in 5 for Titans. What a day in National 2 North, and a good one for the top 4. They took 21 of the 48 tries scored over 7 games. It's the same 7 teams at the top. Sedgley Park and Fylde pull away, with Hull Ionian staying in touch. Otley are up to 4th again as Rotherham Titans and Chester suffer. Wharfdale's win pushes them ahead of Sheffield, while Sheffield Tigers are 4 points away. Harrogate are now just 5 points off Preston Grasshoppers.
And let's finish in National 2 West with a Midlands derby taking place on the outskirts of Birmingham.
And it was a corker. Bourneville had a superb first 40 minutes at Avery Fields. Mikey Ho's score giving them a dominant lead over Loughborough students. But the pace of the university side's backs gave them the edge in the third quarter. Oscar Daniel running in his second score of the day for the lead. Tom Borrows shone for the hosts, and his second try drew them level. Max Craven's late penalty woes ensured Bourneville's losing run would end as the students took another draw. It was first versus third at Wesley Park, and Redruth gave Leicester Lions a taste of their own medicine with fast play to put Dean Bonds through for a 15-14 half-time lead. The league leaders showed good discipline after the break to put 19 unanswered points on the board, Zach Bean with the best try. At Pottington Road, Barnstable showed very early signs of a major upset when Tyler Gordon Oak kicked a penalty just 2 minutes in. But this was a one-sided affair for the Bristol side, Bertie Stretch giving Clifton their second try. It was a return to consecutive wins for Matt Salter's side, who added a bonus point late in the game, Brad Talbot completing a hard-working day for the forwards.
It was a good game. The score probably flattering Clifton. Barnstable's defence and gradual work around the pitch excellent. Their efforts unceasing. They pushed us all the way. So the 5 tries on the road and a bonus point win sorely needed in a league that toward the end will probably need bonus points to sort out the top 3 or 4.
100 miles up the coast, Stourbridge aimed for a first win in 4 games and made the best possible start when Arthur Morgan found space out wide. But Aldred Cliffians responded almost immediately to take 4 tries before the break as Rhys Cottrell grabbed 2 of them from his own wide position. It's certainly all smiles in Herefordshire as Lucktonians surged to a 3rd win in a row, Archie Benson getting them started against Hornets. The visitors were down to 14 men before the break when Kieran Ward was red-carded, James Wheeler capitalising on the extra space behind the Hornets line. There were plenty of tries at Fortin Road. Newport Salop took the game to high-flying Hinckley after 17 minutes, with 2 scores for Rhys Beddoes. The Leicester side had dominance in the forward pack, front rower David Peck helping them secure the lead before heading in for half-time. Hinckley would go on to let their backs loose for a 5-point win, but they did let Newport back in, Cade O'Neill securing 2 bonus points. And a stunner at Shaftesbury Park. Things Crusaders had a 7-point lead after 40 minutes, starting their scoring after just 2 minutes with Solomon Topher. Exeter University wanted a return to consecutive wins and were inspired by Samuel Walker, his deceptive runs finally drawing the students level on the hour. And the tug of war would go to the men in green and white, Johnny Searle turning on the afterburners for a superb comeback win. So plenty of exciting moments in National 2 West. 4 of the 7 games saw the losing team at half-time either win or draw. Check out the YouTube channel for loads of exciting content. Leicester Lions push on as Clifton overtake Dings Crusaders and Redruth into second, but it's tied as Exeter University are just 4 points off the purple side of Bristol. There's one change at the bottom, with Oldred Cliffians overtaking Newport Salop. Bournemouth's draw means the bottom 4 are separated by just 5 points.
Well, that's it from round 10 as Dorking's dominance of National 2 East continues with a huge win at Henley Hawks. Enjoy the rest of the week, we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. What's up guys, Warren Muggleton here reporting from my local rugby club, Bournemouth. Thank you so much for watching that National League Rugby video. For more from the 3rd and 4th tiers of English rugby, then subscribe just over here. And don't forget to click the bell too so you're notified when new content is published. That's it, click that one there. We've just had round 10 so you've got a lot to catch up on.